Well, hello, I'm Bob Dendry, this is Boring Guy Plays, and welcome back to Future Cop LAPD. Now, I played a little bit of Precinct Assault, well, a very long time ago, maybe in the first year I did the channel, and I've been wanting to come back to it to play through the Crime War campaign. So we're going to jump in and do that now. We'll pop it on the difficult skill, and we will head off to the first level at Griffith Park.
X1 Alpha, Code 3. Proceed to the Observatory. Officers are down. Hostile air and armor units confirmed. Be advised. Civilians are caught in the crossfire and the situation is rated X. That's why we need you, darling. Your target is one Myles Mysterio. He's converted the park telescope into a plasma cannon. Gets his kicks bringing down commercial aircraft. Bag 2 this morning. The department wants this assassin taken out. That's a code 7X. No assistance needed. He's all yours.
Mysterio's in the observatory. Take him out.
Alright, we have arrived on scene and are finding ourselves straight up in a crowd control situation. I find it actually quite interesting how, I guess, the sort of view of police has changed since this game came out in, what, 97, 98 maybe? Where I guess it's seen as completely normal, well, not completely normal, but that we've just come in and just pretty much destroyed, slaughtered crowds of people. Don't know if a game necessarily would come out today with that sort of hostile action, nor should it. But, you know, at the time, I guess this sort of stuff was a bit more acceptable than it is today. I was originally planning to play through this on the PC version. So I played the original video I did on the channel, the Precinct Assault one, on the PC version. It's a little bit tricky though to get the PC version working. Obviously, the problem you have with Windows games especially is that, you know, technology moves on, and the sort of libraries and the, you know, that sort of stuff that is required to work the game doesn't really exist anymore, you know. Like the installer for Future Cop LAP doesn't work on modern Windows because it's a 16-bit program, which obviously hasn't been, you know, properly supported in Windows for quite a few generations. So you can use the PC Gaming Wiki, which offers a modified installer to sort of get around that issue. But you're still sort of faced with the same issues once the game is installed. So I managed to get it to work for the Precinct Assault video. To be honest, fairly easily. I didn't really have many problems with it. That was on Windows 10 though, I'm pretty sure. And I'm now on Windows 11. And as much as I tried to get it working, unfortunately, yeah, it just didn't want to play ball. So I've had to fall back to the old reliable PS1 version, which we're running through RetroArch on the Beetle PS1 emulator. And that's fine. This is obviously how I sort of experienced it as a child. I only fairly recently actually got access to a copy of the PC version. The advantage of the PC version, of course, is that you get... I just jumped on a plasma mine. You know, it's far easier to do things like upscaling, things like that. I'm pretty sure it looked a lot better when I did the Precinct Assault video. And we are doing a little bit of upscaling on this. I think I'm pretty sure I've set up RetroArch and the core we're using to be able to do that. But it's not the same as, you know, of course, sort of more native upscaling that you get from using a PS or a PC version, I should say.
weapon police reloader.
But it is what it is, right? I think 3D games in general on the PS1 and the Nintendo 64, all of those, I don't think they necessarily age that well versus like pixel art sort of games. But I guess it's just something you have to accept, right? You need to be sort of acknowledging that you're not playing it for the cool graphics or anything like that.
One more to go.
And that's fine, right? Yeah, this is part of life. Certainly graphics are not the number one thing I look for in a game,
Excellent, Alpha. Could you spare a minute
but
to free some hostages?
good graphics are always helpful, aren't they, to improve the experience?
Don't underestimate Mysterio.
Now, we've actually sort of just glossed over it, but we actually freed some police hostages that had been taken, prisoner by Myles Mysterio.
Great going.
And we should have a police vehicle coming in right now to pick them up and take them to safety. So good job. We'll leave them to sort that out, and we will continue on our mission. I don't think I've actually talked about our case so far. So we are up against Myles Mysterio today. He has essentially taken control of the Griffith Park Observatory here in LA, and he has converted it into a plasma cannon and is using that to shoot down, airliners, which is not great, which is why we've been called upon to take him out and deal with this situation.
That's a Shield police reloader.
And so far, his, forces, his gang of criminals are proving to be pretty easy to deal with.
A nice shot.
I don't really recall the this crime war mode of the game being particularly difficult. Certainly Precinct Assault against Sky Captain, once you're sort of into the higher levels, does become quite difficult, but Crime War is a bit more of a narrative experience, I think, anyway.
That's a heavy weapon police reloader.
And of course, it's not going to, it's not going to win any Oscars with the narrative. It is, I think, a really cool sort of take on sort of, I guess, B-movie type stuff. It's not going for high literature or anything like that. You're just wanting, cool villains. Interesting sort of supervillain of the week, I guess, story. Each mission we're up against a different, gangster or drug dealer, terrorist, whatever that is trying to wreak havoc for LA. And we are pretty much, like the last barrier that the LAPD has to try and deal with escalating crime rates. If I'm not mistaken, if we sneak around here, we will find an upgrade. Yeah, so we've got a heavy weapon upgrade.
That's a heavy weapon power-up.
And as you can see, that heavy weapon power-up sort of splits our Hellfire missiles into multiple missiles that will seek out a different enemy each.
Alert, enemy incoming. Whoa, this is a big one.
This is our first sort of sub-boss of the game. Fairly easy to take care of.
This is auguring in. Watch it. Good work.
And once again, this is on the difficult setting.
That's a Shield police
Regardless,
reloader.
still a lot of fun.
It's a red plasma fence. Find the deactivation switch.
The two-player version of this actually has an interesting mechanic. I'm not sure if it was intentional or if it was just, you know, how they programmed it. No, they couldn't work out how to do it any other way. You have a shared life bar. So when you've got, you know, perhaps a more experienced player with someone who's not played the game before, you can't just sort of hide behind the more experienced player. Well, I guess you still sort of can, but the shared life bar means that someone can't carry the team, or you can't sort of be like, oh, I'm almost out of life. You need to, you know, you need to take charge while we find some life. No, it's basically once you're down to that sort of critical amount of life, you're both as vulnerable as each other. Yeah, once again, I don't know if it's a really thoughtful game mechanic or if it's just how they programmed it. But yeah, I think it's cool. It certainly gives you some, I guess, a different sort of play style or a different sort of strategy you need to follow playing cooperative. But yeah, we have now gotten through to the final boss. So we're going to take care of these little hovering guys to start with, and we have two of these sort of sub, I guess, cannons, which we can pretty much just take care of from relative safety. We don't really need to do too much with them. But once we've taken care of them, we've now opened up the main plasma cannon. That one's a little bit more difficult to take care of, but it's, you know, its projectiles are fairly slow. It does have a little bit of a shield, but once again, fairly easy to take care of.
Area secured. Nice job.
And yeah, just like that, we're done.
Perimeter secure, Central, but no sign of Mysterio.
Copy 1, Adam 5. No sign of Mysterio.
So there we go. We were able to take out Myles Mysterio. He tried to escape in a, in some sort of aircraft, but he made the mistake of trying to fire on us on his way out, which obviously we weren't going to take that. So we very quickly fired a mortar and took him down. So as I said at the start of this video, so the levels in this game are pretty short. I think this will be like a 15-minute video or something like that. So nice little teaser, nice little starter. And I think there's 6 levels in this game. So it should be a nice, relaxed, quick series to get through. And I hope you will join me, in that journey to cleaning up the crime in LA. But that's about all we got time for today. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You'll find links to my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, follow, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Big shout out to my Founders Club patron, Caleb. Caleb, thank you so much for helping to make this content possible. If you want to help out at home, you can do so by popping onto patreon.com/BobDendry, joining as a member of the YouTube channel, or you can just leave a super thanks on this video as a one-off thanks for the content. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This is Future Cop LAPD. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.
14 officers down, need assistance, over.